Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June 18th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also have a great Sunday afternoon, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to talk about the watches warning advisory map across the lower 48, what you see here on the screen. Also, going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to take a look at the satellite loop for Invest 92L. Also, we're going to take a look at the current information as well. And also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today as well. And also tomorrow and maybe Tuesday as well. Alrighty. Well, hope everybody is doing well today. And if you're new viewers and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. As you can see, we got air quality alerts for all of Indiana, portion of Ohio, one county there in portion of Pennsylvania, a little bit down in southeast North Carolina, look like one county there in eastern Tennessee. Also, we got a flood advisory over a portion of one county there in a portion of Minnesota. Maine, that is, excuse me. We got thunderstorms, watches, a few warnings down here in portion of Alabama. Watches extended all the way over to Georgia, the Panhandle, Florida. Got some severe thunderstorm warning, special marine warnings there as well. Also some flood advisories there, and also some flash flood watches also in effect. We got excessive heat warnings in effect for much of Louisiana, eastern and southern Texas. Heat advisory for southern Mississippi. Portion of northern Louisiana, northeast Texas, central Texas as well, including western Texas. We got some fire weather red flag warning effect for northeastern portion of New Mexico, special flood advisory for portions of Kansas, and also over here portions of Colorado. Special weather statement for eastern Oklahoma, northwestern portion of Arkansas, southern portions or southeastern portion of Kansas, also southeastern Ohio. River flood warning still in effect for area rivers there in portion of eastern South Dakota. Special weather statements for Wyoming. Wind advisory for portion of Idaho, all of Nevada, southern California, northwestern portion of Arizona there as well. Portion of the mountain area of California. We have a freeze warning in effect for North California. Got a freeze watch for Northern California. Freeze warning for portion of southern Oregon. We still had a river flooding still going on in portion of Nevada. Also some flood advisory for portion of California mountains there as well. Got one little area there around Fairbanks, Alaska. Got some air quality alerts there, and the Hawaiian chain island looks a-okay. Alright, let's move on to the weather radar now. As you can see, there's a shower and thunderstorms reported in southeast Canada back into Maine. Sorry about the pop-up, folks. And also we got more scattered showers over portions of southern Canada back through Minnesota. Also some shower and thunderstorm activity through Iowa, Missouri, all the way down into Arkansas. Also northern Louisiana over to Mississippi and Alabama, northern Georgia, the Panhandle, Florida. Also down in the northern portion of the Bahama Island. Scattered activity over portion of Cuba. Scattered activity around the Hawaiian chain island. Got some scattered showers and maybe some snow showers over portion of Alaska. We got some snow showers over southwest Canada. We got rain showers over western portion of Washington State. Also moving on shore into Oregon as well. More widespread showers over southern Canada back through Montana, back into Idaho. Portion of Wyoming, northern portion of Utah, and northern Colorado, and southern Wyoming as well. Maybe some snow mixed in over here in western Montana and also into Idaho as well. Alright, let's move on to the satellite loop for Invest 92L. This is it right here, spinning in the Atlantic. The circulation is right about here. It will continue to lift on off to the north and west over time, and it's looking a little better organized this morning. This afternoon. This morning and this afternoon looks better organized. So it's looked to become a tropical depression sometime early to mid part of this week, and also become tropical storm Bret. and it could briefly become a hurricane also as well. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. All right, current information on the storm. Uh, Currently, the National Hurricane Center map, um, the hurricane guidance takes the system there currently, takes the system to the west northwest, kind of go over or just slightly north of the Leeward Islands, but some of them starting to turn it to the north. So if the system becomes a little stronger, it will turn to the north. All right, the GFS ensembles also showing that curve to the north as well. You can see it. Most of them do take it now. Most of them is taking well, half of them taking it to the north, half of them taking it through the Caribbean and into the around Puerto Rico and the Jamaica islands there. It will turn, but the GPES, I think, ensembles, the GEPS ensemble shows it continue moving off to the west, moving through the Caribbean, and making a turn toward into the Gulf of Mexico. Only a couple members takes it out into the Atlantic toward Bermuda or between the East Coast and Bermuda. So something we'll have to keep an eye on and see. And here's the model intensity guidance, how strong the system could be. Right now, it's got winds of about 25 miles per hour. When it gets on up there toward 30 to 35 miles per hour, it'll become a tropical depression. It ain't too far away from there. And then see, all guidance now taking it to tropical storm, so it will become tropical storm Bret. Most of the members now is taking it on up to a category 1 or a 2 hurricane, but so we just have to wait and see how time rolls by. And finally, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. As you can see, we've got general thunderstorms in the Pacific Northwest over portions of Washington and Oregon State, Montana back into Utah through Wyoming back into North Dakota, marginal risk up there as well over portions of Montana, general thunderstorms through Minnesota, through Wisconsin, back into South Carolina, back into Texas. We got a big area of marginal risk from South Florida all the way into Georgia, all the way up to Illinois, back into Central Texas. Slight risk also extended from East Texas all the way into Tennessee, back into the Florida Panhandle, and also enhanced risk in proportion of Panhandle of Florida back through southern Georgia. Southwest Alabama, southern portion of Mississippi, southern southeast Arkansas, and northeastern Louisiana. If you're in the enhanced risk, this includes Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Dalton, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida. The slight risk include Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Columbus, Georgia. Marginal risk include Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Miami, Florida. Tornado probability for today, 2% in the green, 5% in the brown. 2% includes Tampa, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana. 5% include Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Mandarin, Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi, and Vicksburg, Mississippi. The winds, 5% in Montana, 5% in the brown down here from Texas to Florida, 15 in the yellow, 30 in the red. 30%, this includes the cities of Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Dalton, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida. Also 15% include Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Columbus, Georgia. 5% include Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Miami, Florida. Hail probability, same area, 5% in Montana, 5% in Florida, back to Texas to Illinois, 15% in the yellow there. Red, the slashed area, that's a significant hail would be. This includes Jackson, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Mandarin, Mississippi, Greensville, Mississippi. 30% include Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Dalton, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida. 15% include Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Columbus, Georgia. 5% include Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Miami, Florida. Let's take a look at day 2 real quick. As you can see, we still had general thunderstorms over here in portion of eastern portion of Washington State, much of Idaho, much of Oregon, portion of Utah, all the way into portion of Wisconsin, also North Dakota, and also back over in portion of eastern Montana. Marginal risk down here in central Texas, general thunderstorms in the lighter green from central Texas to portions of the northeast United States, up around New Hampshire and Vermont, back down in the Carolinas. Also, marginal risk include east coast of Florida, much of Florida, all the way into South Carolina, North Carolina, through Tennessee, back into Louisiana. Slight risk along the Panhandle and the Gulf Coast region there, all the way back over to southwest Georgia, including the Florida Panhandle. Alright, marginal risk, Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia. Slight risk, Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia, Gulfport, Mississippi, and Dalton, Alabama. Tornado probability, 2% along the Gulf Coast from Mississippi back into Georgia and Florida. This includes Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia, Gulfport, Mississippi, Dalton, Alabama. Winds, 5% to brown from Louisiana to the Carolinas, down to Florida, over here to Texas. 15% along the Gulf Coast from Louisiana back to Florida and Georgia. 15% Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia, Gulfport, Mississippi, Dalton, Alabama. 5% Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia. Hail probability, 5% in Texas, 5% along the Gulf Coast from Louisiana to Florida. This includes Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, Mobile, Alabama, Tallahassee, Florida, and Gainesville, Florida. Alright, and here, let's take a look at day 3 real quick, and then we're going to wrap up the video for today. As you can see, we still got general thunderstorms from eastern portion of Washington State, northeastern Washington, Oregon, through much of Idaho, all the way down in Oklahoma, back into Minnesota. Marginal risk over south to North Dakota. General thunderstorm from Louisiana to Florida Panhandle, and also down into Florida Keys to the Carolinas, all the way into portion of Vermont and New Hampshire. Marginal risk from Louisiana to southern Georgia to northern Florida. Probability, 5% in both areas, and this includes the area of Jacksonville, Florida, New Orleans, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama, and Mobile, Alabama. Categorized same areas. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather, the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing.